Dreams. Dreams have always fascinated humanity because we don't know how to explain them all the time. The mind is a fascinating thing. It's a gigantic organic computer. And our dreams are essential in order to make sense out of our life. So when we go into sleep and into very deep sleep, then what our brain tries to do during the sleep period is to make sense of all the sensory inputs that we receive during the day. And the mind works on patterns and symbols. And sometimes when we think of our dreams, we say they make absolutely no sense. There's people in our dreams that would never be with other people, or we're in places we never would have been, or all kinds of things that are weird. So how can we make any sense out of our dreams? And what are our dreams supposed to tell us? So I think I'm getting tired and I'm going to have a dream. Dreams are very special because they give us messages. And sometimes the messages are hard to decipher and they need to be interpreted. But you know, in the Gospels, we find dreams are prevalent. And it's God speaks to his people in a very special way through dreams. Not only just in the New Testament, but in the Old Testament. We also know that Daniel, for example, was taken by the king and asked to interpret his dreams. And that's what Daniel became, the interpreter of dreams. We know that right after the Annunciation and Mary was accepted the challenge of God's offer to her to be the mother of God, she had to go and she had to tell Joseph. And Joseph was very, very skeptical about all this. He didn't know what to make of it. But he had a dream, and an angel came to him and said, "Okay, Joseph, it's okay to take Mary for your wife. The child she's bearing is the Son of God." And Joseph accepts the message. We know that he becomes the foster father of Jesus. Another time that we see a dream is after Jesus is born. Then the Magi get a dream. After they come and they travel for hundreds and hundreds of miles, they get to the king, Herod, and Herod says he wants them to come back and tell him where the king is. And the three Magi get a dream, not to return to Herod, but to go another way. God speaks to people again to deliver a message and to give him direction. We know that there is another dream we have, and this is of, again, St. Joseph receiving a dream that Herod was about to kill the young-born children, for fear that his kingship might be in danger. So an angel appears to Joseph in a dream and tells him to take Mary and the babe and go to Egypt. Again, another dream and a message received. And when they get to Egypt, and it's a number of years probably, and they decide that it's now time to come home, he has another dream. A dream not to go, but they had planned to go because Herod had died, but his son now had taken over, and he was going to finish the job of his father. So Joseph listens to the dream, and they go back to Nazareth. We see a dream at the end of Jesus' life, at the time of the Good Friday. And he stands before Pilate. And Pilate receives a note from his wife who said she's just had a dream that this man was innocent and let him go. Again, a dream. And then we see St. Peter in the Acts of the Apostles, where he has been ministering to the Jewish community for the time that he's been in his ministry. But he receives a dream where he sees a sheet come down and all kinds of animals inside the sheet. And it happens 3 times. And he's told to go see a Gentile, a non-Jew. And the message was that what's in the sheet was not unclean, that none of the foods were unclean, but to go now and accept the Gentiles into the newly formed church. Okay, I had that dream. Now, what did that say to me? It says to me that I must pay attention to my dreams. Because, there are times when God will speak to me through my dreams. And the question is, how do I know how to make sense out of my dreams? Well, that's where you pray to the Holy Spirit. You pray to the Holy Spirit for discernment and guidance and to ask Him what those dreams mean. Because He may be telling us something very important, because that's the only way He can reach us sometimes. So, when you have a dream, try to remember what it's saying to you, and then go to the Spirit, ask Him to give you guidance into what it means, and then be wise enough to follow your dreams.